everyone. Good day, good morning, good evening, wherever you're in the world. Welcome to another Power Platforms section brought to you by UrBizEdge. So for this session, we're having a special guest by the name of Faith Oseghale. She'll be taking us on the topic Power Virtual Agent in Customer Service. This session was brought together with collaboration with UrBizEdge and Enterprise DNA. So for some of you that don't know what Enterprise DNA is and who they are, so their main focus is empowering Power BI users all over the world to change the world. They're also a data company in the United States and also offer so many membership and so many courses online. As you all know, we're also a training company in Lagos, Nigeria, which is UrBizEdge. So on the 6th of February, we're having financial modeling and financial planning, which is going to be tomorrow. On the 17th of February, we'll have an introduction to SQL for data analysis. Also on the 17th of February, we'll have an in-depth Excel training, executive dashboard, and business data analysis. So I'll give you a brief profile about our special guest, Faith. So Faith is a data analyst, a technical writer, a Power Platform advocate, passionate about using data and technology to drive business decision and improving processes. She has experience working with large data to uncover insights and trends using tools such as SQL, Power BI, and Python. She's a technical writer and avid advocate for Microsoft Power Platform, with tools such as Power BI, Power Virtual Agent, Power Automate. So, with no further ado, I'll stop sharing my screen and hand over the session to Faith. So, Faith, over to you. So, I'll go backstage.
All right, thank you. Please give me a minute. I was saying that the Microsoft Power Virtual Agent is part of the family of the Microsoft Power Platform that includes Power BI, Power Automate, Power Apps, and the recently launched Power Pages. And Power Virtual Agent is used to make life easier because we are currently in an era where you cannot compel your staff to answer questions, the very same questions over and over and over. And we know that as a business that has your website up, you we would have traffic coming into your website every day and could be customers that's internal or external. So when I say internal, I mean the staff in the organization, and by external, I mean the customers that come to your website to get information. And not everybody might like to use FAQs, like frequently asked questions. There are some people that like to have conversational, you know, um, like to have conversations, ask questions, and then get answers. So that's the main reason for the Microsoft Power Virtual Agent. So it's a self-service option that answers customer questions. The great thing about Microsoft Power Platform is that you have the choice of not running complex codes, and you can also build amazing solutions that are answering business problems, that are helping to save customer time and improve productivity. That's part of the things that Power Platform brings to us. So Microsoft Power Virtual Agents can be embedded into Teams. You don't even necessarily need to deploy it. You just create it directly from inside Microsoft Teams and then use it. Then it is also sponsored by any channel. Any channel that is supported by the Azure Bot framework can also PVA can also be deployed into them. So there are some ways that the Microsoft Power Virtual Agents have been very helpful. So it uses a guided graphical interface to easily build a powerful chatbot. So like I said earlier, you don't necessarily need to have knowledge of coding. You have a choice. You could either code or not. If you want to do a DIY service for yourself or for your organization, and you would want something that can be able to answer customer questions, or okay, take as a scenario now, your company always have new intakes, maybe every year or every quarterly or anyhow, and they need to be onboarded, right? And this session cannot be going over and over and over. You can have a bot that explains everything that they need to know from top to bottom. Like for example, there may be softwares that they need to get acquainted to. There may be things that they might need help with, and there should be something that tells them that this is what you should do in this case. So PVA comes in handy here by answering all those questions. That's why I said earlier that you don't just use it externally for your customers. You can also embed it into your collaboration sites like Microsoft Teams, and then it helps your employees, your fellow employees, or the staff to be able to answer questions. And the good thing about the Microsoft Power Virtual Agent or the Microsoft Power Platform in general is that they can be integrated to make things easier for effectiveness and productivity. For example, with PVA, you can integrate Power Automate to it so that it can, when you call an action, it delivers. When you tell it to do this, it takes the flow and then it supplies. Then another thing about PPA is that you can monitor the performance of your chatbots. So there is an analytics site. When we get practical, we are going to see that part. There is the analytics site that is embedded into the PVA that can help you see how you can improve on your bot, to see how your bot is interacting with customers and the necessary places that you need to make corrections. So you can receive suggestions. Your PVA can suggest for you. Then it could also help help in sales and then support issues. It can help you with customer information, opening hours, store information. As a customer, you want to know when a particular store is open. You could just log on so long you use the particular triggers. And if you are not able to use the triggers that have been imputed into the Power Virtual Agent, it can also prompt you to ask, I do not understand what you are saying. Do you mean this? So it is something that is AI enabled, and to an extent it learns as you have, depends on the data that you have fed it with. So yes, employees, health and vacation benefits, like I said, it can be used internally, and then common employee questions for businesses, etc. So the benefits of utilizing chatbots for your business: you cannot make your staff work over the clock every day, and they are not programmed to receive or answer the same questions every time. But when you use a Power Virtual Agent bot, it gives you access to be able to repeat the same things over and over, maybe to different customers or to different employees. So it helps you to not miss out on the sales opportunity. For example, 20, you cannot, like I said, you cannot make your staff to work 24 hours 7. Okay, what if I wake up by 12 in the morning and I need to get information from your website about a particular thing that I need to get? Your staff might not be awake or they might not be up at that time to answer my questions. And most of the things that I have to ask might not be in the FAQs on your website. So I might need to converse with something that will give me answers, or if not perfect answers, at least give me options, or maybe direct me to a customer or a human agent. Then it can alert your team of a hot deal. For example, like I said, you can automate Power Virtual Agents to be able to give responses. For example, maybe it could send to your teams that somebody is asking for a question, or maybe a customer is trying to get details about a particular product. Then it gives your customer service team help. They cannot keep working and working. There should be something that answers that basic question that customers keep probing. For example, when are you open? What are the services that you render? When can I come into the office? So those small, tiny questions that can be answered by a bot. It, PVA helps you to achieve that. Then it also improves customer satisfaction. Take for example the what I just talked about. I wake up by 12 and I need to get information about something. I need to come up and see something that can answer the questions that I have. Then it helps to reduce errors. All of these chatbots have been, the people that have done them, they have sat down and thought over it. They've thought about the questions that customers might have, the problems that they might be facing, and how they can be able to, prefer solutions to all of these problems using the PVA. Are you still with me? Hello?
Yes, we're here. We're here.
All right, so now I'll be talking about the use cases of Power Virtual Agents. First of all, the PVA is AI enabled, so you can actually create, there are improvements on PVA every day. So you can easily create intelligent chatbots without code. Like I said, you don't necessarily need to know how to run complex code or memorize all the difficult syntaxes to be able to put things in place. This is a DIY, is it DIY now or DIY, like do it yourself service. So anybody in the company can just pick this up, learn it, and then create one for the organization. So it helps both the employees and the customers to be able to engage better by resolving common issues without, necessarily bringing the IT staff into it. Then it can answer questions around the clock. I've explained this before. Then self-service. You can always check the places that you need to make improvements. You can always check how your bot is reacting with the people that you have created it for and where you need to make changes. Then it saves more time, and more time means more opportunities. For example, you might not have the number of staff that will go across or go around every customer. So having PVA embedded to your website or whatever collaboration sites that you have, it helps you to save more time by answering questions. Then it also helps in everything you do in your business is also to help improve customer service. So for the PVA bot deployment, at the time of this meeting, we can actually embed it to Facebook, to Skype, to Slack, to your website, and then to Microsoft Team. Like I said before, you could also create it directly from inside your Microsoft Team. For example, your organization have um, Microsoft Team as the company platform where you collaborate, talk, and then ask questions. You could also you can create this bot from the inside of Microsoft Team, not necessarily create differently and then deploy. But when you get to the website, like the Power Platform or PBA UI, you see other platforms that you can also embed your PBA to. So an example of, or some of the things that also look like Power Virtual Agents is the UBS Leo or the Zenith Bank Ziva. So all of these things are virtual assistants. They give you questions, they feed you back on data that has been given to them before. So they are not actually human that respond to you the way they feel that they should. These things are programmed. So intelligent chatbots enables your agent to spend less time on calls, excuse me, that bots can handle. The Microsoft PVA can be connected to a custom app so that the app users can interact with the bot directly from within the application, like I said with Microsoft Teams or Facebook or even Skype. So I already said the examples of PVA include UBA Zero and then the Zenith Bank Ziva. So it is something that is on your website. For some companies, it is at the lower right-hand corner of the website UI. That's the user interface. Some it could be on the left. It depends on wherever fits the screen of your website. Okay, so we've done so much talking. It is it is now time to build. So I hope you are ready for that because yes, I am. So I'm going to stop sharing now so that I can log on to the site. So you can use any browser of your choice. I'm going to be using Chrome. Um, Give me a minute, please. So Temidayo, do you mind? I want to share the link on the chat so that maybe they can bookmark it or save it
It's
when they
fine,
need it.
fine, fine, perfect. Anything. Perfect.
All right. So I'm going to copy the links that we will need for this session. And okay. Okay. So I've shared them now. So first of all, you can use different links, right? Yeah, I've stopped sharing my
She stop
screen. I'll
sharing.
share it now. Yeah, I'll share it now. So if you don't want to use the link that I sent, the very first link, you can just use aka.ms slash PVA home. I think I should also copy and paste that. But I think the one I shared worked, so there will not be a need for this one. Let me share again. Please confirm that you can see my screen.
It's coming up. Yeah, visible.
Okay, so like I said, if you don't want to use this, the link that I shared, and maybe it could be something that is hard to remember, you can use aka.ms slash pva home. I think this is easier to remember. So when you use this, it will bring you to this UI. So you can either sign in or try free. Trying for free gives you access to the PVA for 30 days. So you can use a trial account for that. And then again, you could just create a Microsoft 365 account that gives you access to all the tools in Microsoft Power Platform, Power Apps, Automate, Power BI Service, and the rest of them. So I'll just sign in here. Because I'm already signed in, it will take me directly to my environment. But if you are trying for free, or you are just creating an account, it's going to share you the places that you need to maybe identify yourself, and then use a school or work email, because you cannot use your personal email for PVA. And you also need a very strong internet connection. Okay, so this is it. This is how the UI looks like. This is how the user interface for Power Virtual Agent looks like. You can always modify and make changes that you like, but this is where it will bring you to generally. So it tells you that you can build quickly with no code required. You can engage with customers where they are. Then you can also get insight to monitor and improve performance. So here, this has a list of all of the bots that I had created before now. You could also see that my names is outlined here, and then the time that I changed or modified them. So I'm just going to click on this one because that was the demo that I was creating for this class before we do the one we do here. So yes, it's going to take some time. Click, 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 click. All right, okay. It is always showing this annex, an unexpected error occurred because of network. Like I said, you need to have a very strong network to work with most of Microsoft products. Okay, so I'm going to explain most of the things that I have on my left hand corner here. So the chatbot, like I showed us before, it contains, or I could say it houses all of the bots that you had created before and even presently. Then the overview page gives you um, quick start, how to suggest topics. It will tell you to edit. If you want to edit any of your bots, you can edit and test them on this site. For example, you don't have. If I close this one now, it leaves my page. But if I want it again, I could click on to test my bot from here, and it comes up again. Then, if you have questions, maybe you have difficulty, you are stuck at a point, you can check out the Power Virtual Agents documentation, and you can also check the community from here. So this particular page is just to share the community and how you can navigate through your PVA without any hassle. Then the topics. So now, for example, I'm creating a bot, right? My bot to have different topics because you need to be able to trigger it for it to give you answers, right? There should be something that you click, you need to press on a button for something to happen. So all of this, the things you see listed here, all of these outlined topics, they are the topics that are inside of my bot. So inside of all of these topics now, there are trigger phrases that I have used that when I call a particular phrase, it will tell my bot that this is the particular topic that I am referring to, and then it will bring it to my screen. All of these things might seem like jargon now because it's just like theory. When you get practical, you see all of those things. Also, entities is how your bot reacts with, or how it how it reacts with the things that you put inside. So when you put 64, it could identify it as an age or a number. If you put true, if you put false, it identifies it as a boolean. Then if you put USA, you put Nigeria, Ghana, it identifies it as a city or a region. You put blue, it sees it as a color. So all of these things are like how your bot reacts with the things that you feed into it. Then the analytics, if you remember, I talked about, so this is network. I'm going to run this again. So if you remember, I talked about how your bots, how you could actually check the analytics of your bot to see how it reacts with customer, if the customer is satisfied, and the places that you need to make improvement. So it gives you a range. This one is telling me from on the 30th of January, first, on the 30th of January 2023 till today, which is the 5th. So this is the way that the analytics that is loading now. It's showing me how my customers have been um, how they have been working on my bot. This is a new bot, so it might not have all of the data that we need. I created it 4 hours ago, so it might not give us an absolute range of how we need to improve or the things that we need to work on right now. So publish, this is where you publish. Okay, so I said it before that when you come to this tab, you can see the many places that you could embed your bot. So you could either embed it on your website. This first one represents your website. You could embed it on a Facebook page. This is also a website. This is Skype. I think this is Cortana or something. Then Slack and Teams. I don't know what this one exactly represents. So this is where you can actually go, or you can even click here to go to the channels. So you can, if you want to know more or see more of the channels that you can embed your bot to, you can check here. Then the settings, you can also come here to make, when you are very used to your PVA UI and you want to make settings to your bot or to your general environment, then you can come to the settings and then make the changes that you might need. So we are not actually going advanced in this class, so I might not really take us through some of the advanced parts. So I created a chatbot, this customer service. I'll just demo something so that we can see the look and feel before we do our own right away. So when I talked about topics earlier, I said that your bot reacts with all of these topics that are here. So if you look very well, you see skills acquisition, you see tech hub, you see store opening, then you see greetings. All of these things are the topics that your bot reacts with, right? So some of them are already pre-installed. Some of them are their default topics here. So when you can, even before you create a bot, you can check it out. You can also check if the bot is responsive before you start creating your own. So you can come here to create new topic. But first of all, what I like to do is to start with a greeting. So I don't necessarily have to create a hello, hi topic because PVA it's already a previous topic in PVA. So I don't need to create that from scratch. So what I can do is to click on a particular bot and then I can come here to test my bot. So track between topics. What this means is, okay, I'll just leave that for when we start. But let me just quickly test this bot so that we can. Okay, you have questions. Please give me, you can maybe write them down and then we can go over it. I don't know if that's okay, Temidayo.
It's fine. Anyone that works for you is fine. It's fine, boss.
All right. So I don't know if you would like to test the bot or we should just go directly. I don't know if it's my network or it's not
Okay.
coming up.
Maybe you can send a link to the chat box. The chat box here.
Yeah, you need to have an environment to be able to test the bot.
Okay.
All right, I think we'll just create a new bot. So when I come to my environment, you can see the options of having a new chatbot, or you can import your chatbot. Maybe you have access to a different teams and you want to, all right, we are creating one now, and you want to be able to import the chatbot, you can use that import here. But that's not part of the scope for this class. We are just here to create chatbot and how to navigate your way through. So first of all, we're going to create a new chatbot. So we are going to build for production. This other one on the right hand here is if you want to preview. So this is a new feature in the PVA UI. It was not here before. What we used to have is build for production, but now you can try out and preview the Canva first before you now deploy it. So we are going to build for production. This is the first thing that it brings. So I'm going to name my bot. Well, since we're dealing with customer care, so we're going to call it customer care bot. And you can select whatever language that you want. The language that I understand right now from here is English, so we'll just go ahead and select that, and then we create. So if you are creating your bot for the very first time, creating it like this could take up to like 15 minutes. It doesn't have to be 15 exactly, maybe it could be 5, 10, but it will not exceed 15 minutes. Then subsequently, when you start creating more bots, then it will take lesser time. So this is where we are going to create our board. So customer care bot. Now we are going to move to topics. So like I said earlier, okay, like I said earlier, there are already pre-built topics here. You can see a simple topic. I could copy this and create a new one. But if I don't want to create or copy and create a new one, I could just go to where I have new topic and then create a new topic, right? So the reason why all of these things, this new topic and suggest topics are not up here is because if you see up here where my cursor is, you'll see that it's still creating your bot. So it can take some time. It's still when the bot is finally created, then it will launch and then I'm able to, create a new topic. So let's give that some time since it's still creating. Let me quickly run you through the greeting. Okay, I think that might not open because it's still creating the bot. Alright, so we're going to give that some time. It's taking more time than I expected. Alright, so the bot is created. Okay, so now we can go to topics and then yes, create a new. So you see that they are up now because the bot has been created. So new topic from blank. We are going to create a new topic from blank. Then this open in bot framework composer. This is more advanced than this class. So we're just going to start from blank. So the first thing that I want to do for my bot is to make my bot to be able to answer specific questions. But like I said before, there are already pre-built topics. So let's start with greeting. Like I don't create new topics for greeting because it's already pre-built. I can just walk around it. So these are the trigger phrases. Now the trigger phrases you have the opportunity to put in, I think over 5 to 15. Then so when I want to test this bot now, okay, I think let me just test it so that you can see what I'm talking about. For example, now I type hello. You see it answers. It tells you that I'm a virtual assistant. I can help with account questions. All of these things you can edit them. If you don't want your bot to be called virtual assistant, you can just call it maybe you can call it any name. You can call it Claire. You can call it Faith. You can call it any name that you want. So I will just come here and then make changes. So I could say, hi, I'm Faith, a virtual assistant. I can help, or virtual agent. I can help with account questions, orders, store information, and more. And then I save this. Please always save your bot so that you don't lose out on anything. So I think we are going to create more topics. So I'm going to close this. We can come back to that. We can always open that with the test your bot down here. So topics now. I'm going to create a new topic from blank. So I'm going to call this store opening hours. So this is the name of my topic that I'm creating. Now these are the trigger phrases. And when we say trigger phrases, it means that these are the things that you would put into your bot and then it understands what you are saying. So here I could say opening, sorry, opening hours. When are you open? When do you resume? I could also say inquiries about opening hours. So yes, so you could read through this to understand more. Short sentences, 5 to 15 words, work best. You can go over this again. And you could also reach out to me on LinkedIn or Twitter if you have questions regarding how you could navigate through this. I also shared a blog link that can show you how to, open a Microsoft 365 account if you don't want to continue using the free trial. So if you notice, these are the trigger phrases we created for, and there should be a message that is following this, right? So I can say, I can help you with opening hours, right? This is a message. So you can have different options. Now I'm going to add a new node. All of these nodes are prompts that my PVA or my bot will take when a user puts in information, right? So I'm going to still add a message. Okay. Semidayo, are you trying to get my attention?
No. Continue. I'm just giving them your
Oh,
LinkedIn URL.
okay. So I'm going to show a message here. So I can help you with office hours. You can decide to include it here, but I don't want our bots to be bulky and too clogged. So I'm going to just use a different node. So I could say store opening hours. I could say the hub open. So the scenario here is I stay in Edo State. So there's a hub here, and that's what I'm using for this scenario. I'm trying to tell my user when we open at the hub. So the hub has two facets. One is for tech, and the other one is for normal creative skills like fashion, hairdressing, and the likes. So I could say the hub. Oh, okay. Let me ask a question. So I'm going to delete this because since we have two things that we are looking at, let me ask a question. So, which are you asking about? Or I think we should say, which center are you asking about? So this is a multiple choice question because we have, like I said, we have two parts of the hub. So it's going to be a multiple choice questions because my user is going to select. So I could say the tech hub, or I could choose another option and call it, let me close this so that it's bigger. Or we can say the skills center, right? Now I'm going to save this tech hub and the skills center, they are called variables. So I want to be able to call them directly in my bot without mentioning the tech hub or the skills center. So I'm going to call this or center type. Let me call this center type center, right? So yes, you can close this. Like I said, keep saving because network is one thing to consider. So for the tech hub, if you notice, you see that there are two nodes. So for this left node, it's talking about the tech hub. So the tech hub, I'm going to show a message to show my user. So the tech, I could say D. Now D, I'm not going to mention the tech hub again. Remember, I already called it center type. It's a variable. So I'm now calling it center type. So I'm going to just come here. I'm going to insert a variable. And if you see, all of these ones are from the first one to the, I think the fifth. They are not, I didn't directly insert them. But this center type is what is the variable that I inserted right here. So I'm going to call it. So anywhere it sees the center type, it will mention the node that is on top of it. You will see that now when we test the bot. So the center type is open for, let's say, Mondays through Friday, 8 a.m. Right, let's say 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Then Saturdays, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. This is it for the center, the tech hub. Then for the skill acquisition part, I'm going to also show a message. So the variable again is open for enter Mondays through Fridays, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. also. Then Saturdays, 12 noon to 5 p.m. So this is when I call this is this is the response that my bot will give to my user. So because I'm done with this particular topic, I'm going to close. You can either end with a survey or transfer to an agent. But we do not really have an agent that we're transferring to here, so we're just going to end with survey. And we're also going to end this one. I could come here and just also end with a survey, but I could also just link this. Sorry, I could also just bring this way, and then it connects. So I'm going to save my board, and then I would like us to test it so that we could see it's still saving. Okay, it's saved now. So I'm going to test my board. So I could say hello. Okay, still connecting. Network issues. Yeah, it's taking longer. So hello. Okay, let me just reload this. I hope this bot is saved. Let me just reload. Okay, so it's network. Okay. So the reason why you break your bot into topics is because you don't want your bot to be clogged with, you don't want it to be so compact that your user might not be able to understand, or not even your user now. Somebody that wants to come and edit it might not be able to edit it because it's so clogged and too compact. So I'm going to say hello here, sending. So you see the corrections that I made. It's telling me hi, I'm Faith, a virtual agent, and the rest. Now I want to be able to answer opening hours, enter. So you see, it's telling me all of those things that I imputed. It is now asking, I can help you with opening hours. Which center are you asking about? I want to say the tech hub. So you see, it's showing D 2 times because of here. If you notice, I put D here. So after this demo, we're going to make changes. So the tech hub is open for Mondays through Friday, 9 a.m. to 5, Saturday, 10 a.m. to 4. So to ask you if that answer your question, then when you click yes, it tells you to rate the experience. And then if you have any other question that you want to ask, you can click yes. Or if you know that your survey is over, then you can say no, thank you, and in response to that. So that's how it is. So I'm going to make the changes, the corrections that we saw just now. I'm going to remove DB from here. Yes, so then I save again. So now since I have two parts of the hub, the tech and the skill center, I want to be able to do different topics for both of them so that my user can interact. So we might not be able to do for both of them, but let me just do one so that we can, because of time. So I'm going to go to topics again. I already saved my bot. I'm going to go to topics and then click on new topic from blank again. Then this one is going to be the tech, or let me do the skills because I'm trying to show you something. The skills center, right? So then again, I enter my phrases. If you notice, as we're entering the phrases here, at the back, if you look at this place, you see that it is updating from there. So if I come here and I put skills as if trigger that I want my board to understand. Also, I put fashion design, and then again I can enter hair making. or any other text at all. I could also put creative arts. All right, so I think that is fine so that we can move forward. So now these are the trigger phrases. Like I said, the trigger phrases, they tell your bot what to respond to. So if you enter skills when testing your bot from here, it will know that you are bringing it to the skill center topic. So now let's answer the questions. First of all, I could say we are excited to help you kickstart. And all of these things are not carved on stone. Whatever you think that your user would like to hear or see, that's what you should add. So I'm just using this for a demo. So we are excited to help you kickstart your journey into being a creative skills personnel. And I could say, please, okay, please provide answers to the following questions. All right. So to the following questions. So I'm supposed to ask a question, right? So I'm going to add another node. And this time I'm going to ask a question. I think I didn't go over this. So asking a question is like the way we use for the first topic, right? If you ask a question, then you can use your entities or multiple choice questions. You can call an action from Power Automate. You can either show a message like this one here. Then you can redirect to another topic. You don't want your bot to be clogged and so contract. So you can just redirect. If it's getting so big and covering your screen, you can redirect it to another topic. And then again, you can end the conversation. So here, what I want to do is to ask a question. Then I can say, what is, okay, I think they should understand what I'm trying to say first. So we are excited to help you kickstart your journey into creative arts. What is your preferred track? So please, I'll answer questions later. Well, working with time, so you can just get them written down. So we are doing multiple choice questions, right? Because they need to select. So I can say fashion design. This is the first one. Then the next option is the next question. One, the next one is shoemaking. Shoemaking, and then the next option should be, all right, my bot is moving. The next option should be what's the third one? Okay, hair dressing. Excuse me. All right. So now, like we did earlier, we need to name this so that we can be able to call it in our bot. So I want to name this skill type, right? So it has changed. Now, for fashion design, because all of this, the scenario here is that all of these skills are currently running. So I'm going to use only one message and then bring all of them together. So I'm going to show a message. So I said, okay, because it's going to click and then I need to answer. Okay. Then I'm going to call in my variable skill type. The skill type training is up and registrations are currently ongoing. Please provide answers to the questions following to get registered. Stop. So yes, this is it. I'm going to, like I said, it's one message, right? So I'm going to link all of this. I'm going to link all of this. So whichever one the user clicks, it still brings them to this message. All right. So now Okay, this is it. Now, what it will answer is the skill type. So if you choose fashion design, so this fashion design training is up and registrations are currently ongoing. Please provide answers to the following questions to get registered. So I would ask a question. What is your name? Now, we are not doing multiple choice questions. People don't have they cannot select what their name is. They have one name that they will want to be used to be identified in this training. So we are not going to do multiple choice options again. So these are the entities. You can now come here and select, scroll down, and then you see where you have person name. So you can click on person name, and then we can call this variable name, right? So that we can call it again. Then we can also say, remember, we're trying to get this person registered. So we need personal information. What is your email? Again, the bot must be able to identify that this is an email. So you come here where you have the identity, you click on it, and then you look for where you have email. So this is email, you click on email, right? Then var. We are going to change the variable name again to what? Email. So the reason why we name these variables is so that it is easy for you to be able to call in all of these things, because you might have a situation whereby you want to be able to call in all of these things and answer one question. So what is your email? Then if the training has anything to do with age, or you work in a firm that collects data, or maybe the hub now started collecting data to know the age bracket of people that come for um tech skills or normal creative skills like hairdressing and fashion. So you could ask, what is your age, or how old are you? Then this one, remember, we're talking about age, and PVA can identify age. So you click on age, so that when you click, when you want to insert a number, a letter rather, it doesn't accept because it has been fixed to identify age. So we're going to also call this age and close. So, and if you would like, you could ask of phone number. If you don't want, I don't think we should ask here. You could put it in your bot if you want, but I want to know what days work for you, because in this in this um in this scenario, we are trying to make the class as comfortable as it could be for the students. So they have the right or the choice to choose whatever days that work for them. So I could say, what days work for you? And this one, since I'm giving them the option to have more than one day, I could just say the user's entire response. They could say every day. Every day is not an exact day. So that's why I'm putting users entire response so that they can answer whatever day that works for them. Now I've been able to collect data from, let me save my code quickly. I've been able to collect data from my user. Now I want to tell them that the the data that they've entered is saved. So I'm going to now show a message because I've collected all of the information that I need for the registration process. So I'm going to say thank you. Now I'm going to call in that name. I don't need to type the person's name because obviously I don't know who the person is. We are creating this bot for future purpose. So thank you. I'm calling the name now. Thank you, name. You have should I say identified. Please use the English that you like. This is what comes to my mind right now. You have identified interest in the, so I'm going to call in the training now, the skill type. You have identified interest in the whatever training for somebody who is, we're going to call in the age, years old, and will be available, then you call in the day. What did I put? Oh, I didn't name that one. So let me go and name it now. Var, let me call it day. So you see why it is important to name your variable so that you can call them wherever you want. You'll be available, and then I call in the day. We would contact you with, then I can now call the email or whatever it is that maybe you collected phone number or whatever works for you. So we'll contact you with or through this. So now I can save my bots and then you can test it. So the topic is still saving, it's showing here. So now the topic is saved. Now let me test the bot. Oh no, network is acting up again. Let me just reload. Topic is already saved, so I'll just reload. Okay. Always have strong network when working with PBA or any Microsoft product. So this is loading and we are going to test our button. This is done loading. All right. Which error is occurring again, please? See, it didn't even load safe. Okay, load, but we cannot test the bot, so I'll go over it again. Okay. Network does not want us to test this bot though. Last but not least, to work this time. Please work. Oh my god. So I wanted us to test this board before we demo it. When network is acting up. Network, please. All right, it's connecting. So I hope it works now. Yeah, it's working. So now I want to call in one of the triggers. And the good thing about PVA is that if it does not directly bring out whatever trigger, or if your user does not put in the right trigger, it will ask it questions. For example, what I have here is just what I enter is hair and not hair making. So it will ask, okay, it even understands. Normally there are some that you ask and it will tell you to choose. So now we are excited to help you kickstart your journey into being a creative skills personnel. Please provide answers, blah blah blah. So what's your preferred track? I want to do fashion design. Okay, it tells me the fashion design training is up and registrations are currently ongoing. So please provide the answers. Now I want to show us something. If you click here, you see the variable watch. This is how PVA takes data from your user. So you can check all of this. You will see that skill type is fashion design. Now what is your name? My name is Faith. Enter. What is your email? My email is faith@yes.com. So you see to identify my email. Then it tells you how old are you? I'm 56. What days work for you? Mondays and Fridays. So it will bring, see, can you see it's telling you, thank you, Faith. You have identified interest in the fashion design training for somebody who is 56 years old and will be available Mondays and Fridays. We will contact you with faith@yes.com. So our bot is ready. Now we have tested it and it is doing exactly what we want it to do. So all of these things that I explained earlier, we are going to come here and then we are going to publish our bot. So after publishing your bot, you can test it on the demo website. When you finish publishing, clicking here, it will tell you, do you want to publish the latest content? Yes. Whenever you come and you make changes to your bot, do well to always publish so that you'll be able to demo it on the website and it brings all of the latest editions that you have put or editings that you have put. So it is publishing my bot now, and this might take some time. Mm, okay.
So I was thinking, as it's publishing, can I be asking a question from the chat box?
Yes, you can. And now,
Okay.
so so I'm going to demo it on a website. So now you see my bot is up. If you will see where you please stay in there, give me some minutes. Let me just quickly finish this. So share your bot. After you publish, try out your bot on a demo. You can decide to show it on a different screen. I always move all of my tabs. You see that I have so many tabs open so that I can be able to relate with my different tabs. So I'm going to now demo my app, my bot on the website. So this is the demo website. Now let's try. Hello. So hi, I'm Faith, a virtual agent. So what can I help you with today? I could say opening hours or opening. So like I said, if you put a trigger that the boss does not directly understand, it will ask you to clarify, did you mean any of this? I could say, yes, I mean store opening hours. So it will say, okay, I can help you with opening hours. Which center are you asking about? Then I could say the skill center. And you say the skill center is open from Mondays through Fridays. Did that answer your questions? No. They need to tell you again that sorry, it was not able to help you better. Would you like to talk to a human or try rephrasing? You talk to an agent if you must have made that change or maybe make that available. But right now we are not doing that, so we are going to rephrase. Now we are going to type skills because we want to get inquiry about skills training. So we're excited to help you kickstart your journey into being a creative, whatever. So shoemaking. Then, what is your name? Faith. What is your email? Faith at go.com. How old are you? 65. What days works for you? Mondays and Tuesdays. So thank you, Faith. You have identified interest in the shoemaking training for somebody who is 65 years old and will be available Mondays and Tuesdays. Okay, sorry. So we would contact you at or with faithatgo.com. So this is how you could create a bot and yes, demo it on a website. So I hope you enjoyed the class as I did showing you too. Thank you so much for having me. So we can have
Awesome,
questions now.
awesome, awesome, awesome. I think that was,
I think I can
uh,
stop sharing, right?
yeah, you can stop sharing. Awesome, awesome.
All
So
right.
I'm going through the chat box now. So I can see Gladys' question. Okay, she
Okay.
says she works in customer service and she's actually interested
Okay.
in the whole Power Platform environment. So she said she has a question. She said that is regarding the PVA, that's the Power Virtual Agent. She said that can I easily attend to customer query categories and get insight from them? What are the possibility of getting insight from it?
Okay. Like I said, you embed PVA to websites, or you can use it in your Microsoft Teams. Do you get? So if you create it from inside Microsoft Teams, you could ask it questions. It will answer staff questions or maybe your customer questions. That's if you give them access to your Teams channel. So that's how you can answer it. And like I said, if you onboard new staff, there might be some softwares that they need to get acquainted to and some things that they need to understand. So you can outline all of these things and then send the newly employed staff to the place it is in the channel and tell them this is where you could interact. We have a bot. Maybe the bot's name is Faith. You could interact with Faith and to give you all the information that you might need on how to do well in this your role. I don't know if that answers your question.
Okay, I think she has even the person has left, but definitely,
Oh, okay.
definitely, I think that you actually answered it right. Okay, I think Larry has a question. So Larry
Okay.
is asking that if I enter a non-reference phrase, can one dominate the bot to respond with a generic response that takes the customer to the beginning of something close?
Okay, I really do not understand that question. The grammar plenty. So
Mhm.
if you can rephrase Larry
Okay,
for
so
us, maybe.
according to him, right, it's like if one asks a question, I think you already showed the other time that if you ask a question that is not in the old phrase of your flow, that it
Mhm.
just brings us a generic response.
Yes,
You
it will
already
tell
showed it
you
that
to
already.
clarify. It
Yeah.
has options. It will tell you because, like I said, you are putting things inside. You are feeding it data, and it's going to bring response to you. So when
Or
you
let me
feed it
just
that
make
data, if
Larry a speaker. Let me see if he wants to.
okay,
So
okay,
Larry, you can
Larry,
mute
you want to
yourself now.
go?
Larry Lex Luthor. Interesting. Hello,
Yeah,
Larry.
no,
Hi,
I guess
Larry.
already provided the context
Yeah, she already did
of
it already.
yeah.
I saw it
So
already.
Oh, all
she
right.
already explained it.
Okay.
It's
Thank you.
more about
Thank you.
if I put a non reference or non-reference phrase as a question that is not even, for example, if I set up a bot called greetings, and in all the greetings there is no H, and the person just puts only H and sends it, can you still tell the person
Yeah,
that good?
it will not exactly, it will not directly tell you good morning because you have not answered, you have not fed it data that it understands. So it's going
Yeah.
to give you all of the options that are available and then you can choose from there.
Okay.
Okay.
I hope that answers your question.
Yeah.
Awesome,
Thank
All right.
awesome, awesome. I can see. Yeah, he said is Daniel said he's one of your biggest supporters.
Thank you, Daniel.
Hello, Toby. Do you have any questions to ask? Oh, let me just unmute him. I don't know. Toby is. I don't know if Toby is here. Oh.
Toby is our boss in Power Platform, so you should not even ask me any questions. I may not be able to answer.
Hi, Toby. How you doing?
Hi,
So, Toby,
Toby.
can mute yourself. Except if you're in church or something. Okay, so Toby, can mute yourself and say something. Just say hi or something.
Toby, say hi to me. So I
Hi,
know my boss is recognizing me.
good evening, everyone. Can you hear me clearly?
Yeah, we can hear
Yeah,
you.
yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, good evening. Great section by the way, Faith. It was really awesome. I
Thank
actually
you.
picked some things from the section to be sincere.
Oh,
And
thank you.
nice use case by the way. Tell me that your
Yeah.
thanks for the great work. It's always an awesome
Awesome.
experience attending this section. Each
Yeah.
time I come, I always learn one or two from this section.
Awesome. Awesome.
But
Thank you.
definitely, I think Faith was actually explanatory during our own section. So I would say I don't have questions. But definitely, I can always enter Faith's DM if I have questions. Faith,
Yeah.
express me.
Yeah.
All right.
You're always
So
welcome.
I
Thank
think I
you.
think I think Fit has been doing this well because you're actually calm. It's interesting. Like when people are always speaking, that was like very fast, and you were calm. It actually got everything. Even though I'm more of a Google Bots user, but it's actually awesome. Awesome. So
All
is there any
right,
other
dear.
question? Is there another question? Any other question? Okay, no question. So this record will be made available first thing tomorrow. So before the end of work hours tomorrow, it should be made available on our YouTube channel. And I've also dropped the link to Faith LinkedIn. So I'll also drop it again. So for some of you now to connect with Faith, ask a question, or also give a job or something, you can always reach out to Faith on
Thank you.
LinkedIn.
I'm so open.
Okay, so I've dropped the LinkedIn channel. So you guys can always reach out to her. So thank you everyone. And do have a lovely week ahead. Bye guys.
Thank you. Bye.